Okay, so it's streaming right now. It says it's streaming. Can I make it big? Hey, anybody's watching this.
Nobody's watching. Don't worry about that.
It says warning. Oh, there we go. No, there it is. It's streaming.
Oh, so there's a little bit of a delay.
If I hit the green, is that big?
Yeah.
Full screen. Oh, look at that.
Hey, everybody.
Look at that.
So
Look at that.
tonight you just have Howie Mack. No Big Daddy tonight.
So whose microphone keeps getting slammed? Who's the top? Who's the bottom?
Good question.
Probably
I
turn
think
the
you're the
music
top.
off.
Which one was going up? Hi.
Mute yours.
Mute yours.
All right, I'm at the top. I'm on the top.
Save the best for last.
Anyhow,
Anyhow,
hi everybody.
look. Again,
Cheers! It's Thursday night. This is the night that we usually get together with Big Daddy.
However, Big Daddy went to the dentist for the first time in about 23 years. And
Had to have quite a bit of work done.
You can imagine how that went.
So this has been the replacement for Big Daddy. We had this thing full of beer, and
A little while ago.
we've drank it.
Anyhow, we've just been playing around trying to set up a system where we can have live guests and
Well, I think
have
it's
better sound.
It's important to note that we've had a couple people that have commented. And they've
Well,
said,
it is also fair to say that the funding for our audio has not been extreme.
we're still waiting on it. I think is the
So we've been running off of one mic. We use Blue
Yetis.
but we've been using just one up until this point. And it's worked okay, but we have had a few comments about the sound, different
told us
aspects
to
of it.
Get a compressor. Well,
Somebody told us we blew their eardrum.
we didn't know what a compressor is, so we found some stuff. We went to Guitar Center. We looked at some stuff.
We didn't need any of it.
Look, we're stumbling our way through this. We've never done a podcast.
We said all along that we were learning as we went, and this is it happening as we speak. So
We're in the process of learning.
we've got 3 mics. We've had 3 mics for probably 2 months or more.
But we've only ever recorded with one.
But haven't figured out how to use them all yet, and that's what we're finally getting to the point where we're figuring out how to do multiple mics.
I don't know if anybody's still watching because we're just talking about microphones. So let's talk about what we're doing.
All I'm saying is we've been trying to upgrade our sound system, make it possible to have guests in and still have good quality. And so that's where we're at right now. We were supposed to do the episode, but Sean couldn't come, so we decided to work on this after 2 months.
And I'll tell you what, we were going to be doing an episode tonight with a guest, and then the whole debacle with not going to the dentist for 23 years took place. Sean got some Novocaine and couldn't really function.
So we'll definitely be shooting that episode next week, and it'll be a good one because there's a few aspects that I've been really wanting to get to after our stories, and that is I like somebody who doesn't come from our mission.
Check.
I wanted to get somebody who didn't grow up in the church or wasn't born into the church.
This person was a convert, so
And
check.
I also wanted to get some female interaction in, a female perspective.
Check.
In there, and that's the guest for the next episode is actually Scott's wife Jen, and she checks all those boxes. So it'll be a good episode, a bit different from the stories we had to tell.
Yeah, and we're excited about that. However, when do you think we're going to get going deep? Next week?
Well, we have shot, and I don't remember if we talked about this or not, but we have shot the first episode of Going Deep Underground. Our intent is to do those live, as we've talked about earlier, to do the Underground 1 week and then have 3 live episodes throughout the rest of the month.
Was it last week that we tested that, or was it 2 weeks ago?
It was 2 weeks ago, because last week was your camping trip.
So 2 weeks ago, we tested what a live...
We didn't want to just jump into a live session full on, so we decided to record as if we were live and not have all the chance to edit and everything.
So no edits, no pop culture videos that we put into the other episodes of The Underground. we're just kind of discovering this as we go along. And I think that's what's been so fun about it is this has been our COVID project. This is what we've been working on.
We spent a lot of time on it.
Well,
between filming and editing and trying to figure some shit out, we spent a lot of time on it. And
I think
so
it's the first time that you've sworn before I have. Or anybody in the underground has sworn before I have. That's very
anyway. We're looking to have those episodes. We filmed the first one, like we've said, as kind of a test run, doing it live. That episode, the intent is to get out the second week of September after Jen's episode comes out, and then after that, in theory, we'll start going live on a weekly basis.
And here's what we're going to be doing. I'm not going to go into a whole lot of it, but kind of the idea behind going deep with the underground is that, we talk about these stories, of being raised in a church, kind of limited to what we think and what we're able to process and comprehend. And since removing those constraints of organized religion, we are realizing that there's a lot of stuff that's out there. Some people call them conspiracy theories. Some people call them just absolute bullshit because of the limit that, structured thinking puts on a person. So what we're going to do with going deep is we're going to start sharing some things that we've found.
And it's going to be things that we've looked into and
not beliefs.
Not necessarily that we believe them all, but they're interesting to us and
that we want to talk about.
But ultimately, like you were saying, this stems from the fact that we went through this transformation from a religious standpoint that opened our minds to the prospect of other possibilities than what we grew up knowing because of what we were taught. And that's opened up our mind to other aspects outside of religion as well. And that's where these kind of things come in. And we just find a lot of them interesting. And we've been delving into some of them a little bit. And we just thought it'd be good to start talking about stuff like that.
Some of the things are things that we've had some experiences with. So Jen, when she comes on and does her episode, she's going to tell this story. I alluded to it in episode 2, where I kind of shared my exit from the church, being the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Are you watching videos?
No, I'm trying to make sure it's going live. That's what I'm trying to do.
I allude to a situation in my house where we were kind of... Our eyes were open to energy, and we'll just say the spirit realm. And so Jen is actually looking forward to...
Hey, it's working.
Yeah, I just said that. Wow. Are there any comments or anything so far? Is anybody talking to us? I'm just curious if anybody's watched it. Can we see? We're just stumbling through this, so bear with us. But she's gonna share...
Two watching, one of them's me.
I wonder if the other one's me. It's not. So somebody else, whoever is watching, yes!
Anyhow.
This works. She's going to share a story about the spirit realm and energy and kind of that whole world of paranormal type stuff, which might be stuff that would be discussing
that we be
discussing in going deep.
Yeah, so it's different than the underground. The underground is specifically a spiritual topic. This is different, but it's been created largely because of the transformation we went through from that spiritual aspect. So,
do you remember back way back in probably 96, 97? Go back. We're living in Provo, and there was a radio show on K-Bear. So K-Bear is kind of the rock station here in Salt Lake. And there was this program on Sunday nights, and it was a paranormal show. And they talked about stuff. And I remember all the way back then kind of just being fascinated by the paranormal world with ghosts and spirits. And I remember this is before Ghost Adventures was on the Travel Channel, or Paranormal Lockdown was on Destination America. But it was like that first introduction. And I just remember being fascinated by that world.
Well, one of the things I talk about in the first episode is that I've always been fascinated with that stuff. I
think you said science fiction.
Well, science fiction, fantasy, but I would put, ghosts, the spirit realm, and all that into that same category. I've never had any personal experiences with any of it, but I've always been fascinated and open to the possibility of those types of things being true.
Yeah. So
from a young age.
We'll be sharing stories about that. Jen and I have had some crazy experiences.
Yeah.
We'll probably talk about that in going deep and whatnot. But anyways, that's kind of what we've been focusing on. That's what we're working on right now.
And
this is huge.
And since Sean wasn't able to join us tonight, we just thought this was a good way to...
We kind of have a Thursday night ritual whenever we film.
We drink a lot.
We drink quite a bit.
Eat some wings.
We eat some chicken wings. We cook up some chicken wings in the air fryer, and we have a nice big feed.
And then we film.
And then we come down here and
Hang
we
out.
sit and we talk for 2-3 hours. I mean, the stuff that you guys don't see. One day we'll sit down and we'll compile the blooper reel.
Yeah.
There's hours and hours.
I've already said, I do, for everyone, because we haven't really discussed this, I do a majority of the editing. As much as possible, Scott will come on and help me, and that's great. And every once in a while, we'll get Sean to join us. But through that process, I've learned how much additional video there is to go through to get some kind of a blooper reel, which there's plenty of material for. But there's
so
also
much.
a lot of other material that I'm just not prepared to go through. So I've already stated that I'm not the person to put that together.
Maybe we can hire somebody to go through and make a blooper reel. If anybody's watching and wants a little project, we'll give you the unedited or the edited footage, and you can go through it. What I was going to say is, this has just been such a fun project to be working on, and I love doing stuff like this when I was back in high school, way back before YouTube, way back before this type of technology was available. But it's always been fun. And Rick and I have always talked, since Sean's not here, Rick and I have always talked about writing a movie, doing something. And we always called it a Howie Mack production. So that's where the Howie Mack comes from anybody who sees that logo that comes on at the beginning of the screen. Also, the cow that you see illustrated actually came from good old Australia.
I gotta stand up.
Why?
Because I'm old and I'm getting cramps.
Well, I usually wear support socks when I sit.
That's all right. I'm still a good level.
Because it cuts off the circulation to my legs. Anyways, the cow that you see in the Howie Mack production, that's Bessie. That's something I've been drawing for, 25, 26, 27 years.
Since the mission. So just seemed right that Bessie was the logo for the Howie Mack Productions. We've always talked about it, and we just feel so lucky to have this outlet, to have the subscribers that we do. We appreciate you. We appreciate the comments and the feedback. Keep them coming. The viewers, it blows us away that people are actually watching these videos of us just sitting down here talking about shit. And binge watching. It's not just people just sitting down and watch.
I had a message from somebody who said that they had been binge watching episode 4, which is broken up in those 3 parts. So super cool. We love it. If you're...
I was just going to say, really, we're doing this for ourselves because we just enjoy hanging out with each other and drinking and talking and telling stories.
And eating chicken wings.
And so the fact that anybody else gets any entertainment out of sitting and watching us is amazing, let alone...
And if you want to jump in to the conversation, if you're in Utah, come have a beer with us. Come sit down here. Much to Sean's dismay, we can fit 4 people at this bar. Sean. We can fit 4 people at this bar. We'll be a little close, but that's okay. But we can fit 4 people in here, and we would love to have people on just talking, sharing their stories. That's what we want to do. We just want to talk. We want to just get things out there. We want to share information. We want to share things that we're thinking about, and that's all this is. Have a beer with us. You can even have some chicken wings.
Only Scott doesn't get very many.
I don't get many chicken wings?
You don't get very many.
Oh.
For
I was going to say, yes, I don't get many because I have to cook for Sean and Rick normally. They eat the majority of them. We have a small little air fryer that I cook them up in. A big air fryer is coming, so we'll have plenty of chicken wings. If you want to be a guest on the show, we'd love to have you. So how can they reach us, Rick?
And you can reach us at a couple places. You can email us at wearetheunderground3. That's the number 3.
Are you doing your I'm drunk stand where you stand and you are kind
We're
of
at the We Are the Underground 3, the number 3 at gmail.com. You can reach out to us, and also you can obviously message us on YouTube and Facebook if you search We Are the Underground 3. And even if you're not here in Utah, one thing that we've learned with some of our episodes and other things is that we can certainly utilize Zoom to have guests. In fact, the guest after Jen is going to be a friend of ours who's now in Texas, right?
Austin,
Texas. And so we'll definitely be utilizing Zoom for that.
Unless he wants to come out here and have a beer with us. You could always come out here.
Johnson, you could come back to Utah for a little while.
We got a space for you here.
Anyway, so we can
vacancy.
We can have live guests or guests via Zoom.
Yeah. So cool. Thank you for watching. Comment, like, subscribe, share, talk about it, put it out there. That's how we'll get bigger.
Yeah.
And that's how we'll get better microphones. So, or maybe we'll buy a compressor.
For what?
The sound. Like, do you see how when you talk really loud, it goes red?
Well, you got to turn your mic down, dude. That's about.
Where do I turn it down? In the back? Red rum.
Yes.
Red. Oh, that's totally red. Did you see how slam that went? That went totally slam.
People do not want to watch this part. So look,
rum.
We'll finish this off, and we'll see you soon with Jen's episode.
Jen's episode's coming up in
beginning of September.
Next week, there's going to be a whole video with Going Deep, so stay tuned for that.
There is?
Next week?
No.
Oh, no.
That's the week after Jen's. That's what I was just about to say. Jen's will be out the first week of September. Then the week after that will be that first episode of Going Deep Underground that we filmed.
Maybe we'll surprise you.
See you, everybody. Cheers.
Bye. Good night. Thanks for watching.